Hey, welcome back to the channel, everybody. I'm Ham Radio Dude. Thanks for checking out the channel. Today, I want to tell you about an issue that I had with my Yaesu FTDX10. But it actually just really ended up being a feature that I wasn't really educated on. And I want to show you how to use that feature so you can get most of your Yaesu FTDX10. Today, we're going to talk about band stack operations. And if you're new into amateur radio, this might be something that you didn't know about. Or even if you've been around a while, you might not have understood how to access the band stack operation feature of the Yaesu FTDX10. So let's get started. To get started, I want to talk about maybe how to do things wrong before you do them right. And when I say you're doing them wrong, it's not like it's going to kill your radio or anything along those lines. It's just a less efficient way to do things. And this is what I was doing. If I were in the CW portion of 20 meters, I might want to change frequencies to the voice portion of 20 meters. And so maybe what I would do is where it says 310 on the radio, I would tap on that and I would get this frequency input and I would type in something like 14.300 and then I would hit enter. And that brings me into the voice portion and I'm still in CW above here. So then I might tap on where it says VFO-A and I might bring it up to upper sideband. Hey, what's the big deal? You know, I'm now in voice mode, right? Well, that's fine, but then if you want to go back down to CW, you either have to tap that button again, or you could go ahead and you can go back into this menu, and you could just use your VFO, the big knob, and you can scroll all the way down into the CW portion. And then, of course, when you finally get there, you could actually tap VFO again here, and then you can go to CWU. It's a little bit drawn out, right? Well, to the left of the VFO knob on the radio itself is a button called band. And I've used this one, for example, to go from, say, 20 meters over to 40 meters. And then maybe I'll go into to 10 meters as well, for example. You can see I got some noise there. But what I'm not utilizing on the band button, which I want to show you now, is the efficiency of the band stack operation. So what the band stack operation does is, right now we're on 20 meters CW. And instead of me moving all around and doing all this stuff with the VFO knob or inputting frequencies, if I hit the band button once and then I hit the band that I'm on right now, 20 meters, it'll bring me into what I call like a second memory of the mode. And for example, right now I'm on data U, it's FT8, right? If I hit roofing filter and I brought the roofing filter down to 3 kilohertz, and for example, again, just an example, if I were to change this width to, we'll keep it at 3000, but you saw I changed the roofing filter to 3 kilohertz. Now, that was the FT8 portion. What if I hit that band button again and I hit 14 again? I have a third option and it's an upper sideband mode now. So I have 3 different modes because there's 3 different band stack settings per band. See what I'm saying? Right here, I have it set to 2400 hertz. If I were to open it up to 4000 hertz, it's going to save that as almost like a temporary memory, right? So maybe I like to have the amp on when I'm on voice. Maybe I like to have it out to 4000 hertz. Maybe the roofing filter goes down to 3 kilohertz, for example. All those settings now, when I switch the band stack register, they disappear for a moment because I'm in CW now, right? But then if I make my way back to the band stack register, there we go, FT8 again, and there's voice. Everything should have stuck. There we are at 3 hertz. The amp is on. You get the point. So this becomes really handy because you could have settings stored temporarily for 3 different modes. If I were to jump over to 40 meters, now here I am on 40 meters, and for example, right now I'm on lower sideband. My roofing filter, all that stuff is set to how I like it or whatever. Maybe I'm going to go band and I'm going to hit that again. Well, now I'm in the CW portion. Perfect. So you get an idea there how that band stack works. Now, I'll tell you the confusion might be a little bit, sometimes the confusion is with FT8. Let me show you why. And so I say FT8, but realistically, it's probably many different computer-aided transceiver programs. But here we are. Let's pull up WSJTX right now. As you're going to see, I'm on my band stack register for 20 meters for upper sideband. I have all the settings the way I like them. And the confusion starts to hit when, let's say I'm like, okay, I'm going to do WSJTX now, I'm going to do some FT8. And I go over to 40 meters and I work 40 for a while because all the settings are correct, how I use them. And then I'm like, oh, I heard 20's hot, you know, And so then I go back over to 20 meters and I'm in data U mode. So I think everything's good, but let's evaluate some things here first. I didn't have my amp on in data U mode on 20 meters initially, but it's on now. My roofing filter is 12 kilohertz, but if I look over to the radio, and you're not going to be able to see this, I have certain things enabled like digital noise reduction, which is a voice thing, and that's going to affect my FT8. So what happened? Well, my band stacking register memory had everything there. When I changed the frequencies and the mode, it changed the frequencies and the modes for that band stack register, but it didn't change anything else. So I would be inefficiently running FT8 at that point. But also then, when I went to go through my band stack register to get back to voice, I'm not going to see it. There's CW. There's my original FT8 with the 3 kilohertz and no amp. And then I jump over here, and I'm sitting here like, data U again. So keep in mind that if you use a computer-aided program or a program that's going to control your radio, you might run into some issues. Make sure you're on the best band stack register. And the best thing I could say for FT8 is basically, if you're about to operate FT8 and you know you're going to be on multiple bands, go to each band stack register on each band you're going to use. Data U, let's go to, I won't use 60, let's go to 40 meters. Data U, 10, so 30 meters, data U, and so forth. That way, when I'm switching in between programs with WSJTX, it's going onto my band stack for that mode. And then, of course, if you decide later that you're going to operate on voice, you could shut down WSJTX and once again go to the band stack until you find the voice feature. That's all it is. Band stack operation is a really cool, really beneficial and useful feature. And hey, maybe you didn't know about it. Maybe this helped you out. If it did, give me a thumbs up. I'm Ham Radio Dude 73.